Hello and welcome to the first ever Play for the Dragon podcast. Wales, sports, music, definitely not always in that order either, I have to say. I'm Martin and I've got a couple of friends joining me on the roster and they're going to assist in the running of the show with their insight, terrible haircuts and half-decent puns as well. Now I've completely assassinated our collective character profiles. Would you guys like to introduce yourselves?
Go on, Sam, I'll let you go first.
All right then.
Very cordial.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm Sam Evans. From Rhyl in North Wales, a Liverpool fan, a Wrexham fan, Scarlets fan in the rugby, and that's all you really need to know about me, to be honest.
Solid.
Okay, and I'm Lewis from Prestatyn. Basically, put it nice and simple, I'm a hockey coach. Last team I was with was Potter Spar, seniors and juniors. Now I'm currently a free agent, but hopefully soon we'll be back in the coaching business. Really excited to get that one going. Just got to get a few things sorted, and I'll be back once the season starts.
Just get your life in order, Lewis.
Yep.
Testing the free agency.
Throw it in there as well. Coaching and
nice.
Hockey level 2. I'll have that.
Nice little bit of self-promotion there. Nicely done.
And Sam, you're over in Galicia at the minute. Lovely little.
Yeah.
It's a city, Pontevedra, right?
I guess so, yeah.
I ask you this every time I speak to you.
Yeah. I'm living in Galicia, in north of Spain, northwest of Spain, just basically on the border with Portugal. It's a city, Pontevedra, which is basically like between 70 and 80,000 people. I can never remember the actual population, but it's like the size of Chester. Chester's a good comparison. It's quite similar, I reckon.
Very good comparison. I understand the Chester comparison very well.
Aye.
Lewis, is it Aldenham where you're
Aldenham School I'm working at currently, yes.
Never remember the name of that, sorry.
What's that?
Can never remember the name of that.
Oldham's not in Manchester, no?
No, it's
Altrincham.
Altrincham.
Yeah.
No, I'm at Aldenham School, which is basically 10-20 minutes away from Watford. It's not too far, so it's really
Altrincham are they in the National League, Altrincham?
Altrincham is, yes.
National North,
well, they are then. I guess you couldn't do Wrexham away this year. It could be.
Wait, what?
You couldn't do Wrexham away this year, no?
No fans, obviously, mate. Could have gone to Bournemouth. Obviously not. I was right on my doorstep, couldn't go to it. Just practically couldn't go to a single game, can't even go to a home game.
I know.
I was hoping the playoffs might have been the key, but no.
Yeah. Well, Dagenham and Redbridge, they had some fans, didn't they, Wrexham?
Yeah, we don't talk about that game.
One of the guys from the Sportanarium channel was at that game, actually. Richie, he lives down, I think he lives in Dagenham, actually. Spurs fan for his sins, but he was jamming enough to get tickets. I think it was like 500 of them in there. So apparently Wrexham were as woeful as they were on the stream. So, is that right? We are going to get on with the show in just a second. Play for the Dragon is going to be on Sportanarium once a week. Hopefully you're listening on there right now, so I don't need to tell you, but we're going to be in the slot for an hour or so. So depends how annoyed we get and bored with each other, I guess. Just going to shout out the socials before we crack on as well. Got to do all your PR and that. If you're watching the video, please refer to the small box on the left-hand side of the screen. Yeah, I do all right with the editing and whatnot. If you're listening, want to find us on Twitter, it's Play for the Dragon. No O in the name. Someone already took that handle, unfortunately. What can you do, eh? The wonderful world of Twitter. It's Play for the cheeky. They might be listening to this, bud. Watch it. It's Play for the Dragon on Instagram and the same on YouTube if you want to see the terrible haircuts I was referring to. Okay, so, since the France game was last night, and should we not spend too long on this one since a Portuguese official was intent on spoiling what at the end of the day was a non-competitive friendly? He was. Portugal's least popular Pierluigi Cleaner tribute act.
They've got.
Anyone reckon that?
The Portuguese have got a bit of a reputation for being too competitive, so he's just obviously brought it into the friendly game. Cheers, mate.
Does anyone reckon that Benzema was maybe blackmailing the referee since he does have a track record for this? Valbuena's sex tape and all.
Yeah, it was the first game back in like 6 years, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. And he hit the post and missed the penalty.
Well. I know. Well, he's going to be dreaming about Danny Ward for months to come.
Nightmares, more
if we could impress, like, say, one player who impressed, mine's him.
Danny Ward, yeah.
He honestly, his last few games with Wales, he's been solid. Like I was talking to one of my mates around keeper choices last night, and obviously you've got the argument Heno, Ward, and I'm although I prefer Hennessy because he's 6'6", monster, solid guy, in a box or whatever. I think Ward's sort of proven enough to take the first team spot. If you saw with last night, there wasn't many chances. I thought they were going to score constantly, and they had a ton of shots.
Yeah.
And he kept majority of them out. Sadly, 3 of them had gone in, but
I don't think there's anything he could have done for those 3 goals either, to be honest.
Griezmann one's a great strike.
It's a worldie, isn't it? And the first one was a deflection. He saved the deflection, which I thought was is a rebound. So, I mean, there's nothing you can do about that. And the third one, again, off the post, wasn't it? So literally none of them were his fault. Nothing he could have done about a single one. My opinion when it comes to Danny Ward, he used to play for Liverpool. Wrexham, ex-Liverpool player. So I'm quite familiar with the guy. Big fan I've been for a long time. Because I remember when he went out on loan to Huddersfield and he got promoted. He saved like about, 7 penalties in that playoff, in the playoffs. Because I think both, if I remember rightly, both of the games, the semi-final and the final, went to pens. And he saved them all. So it didn't surprise me at all when he saved that Benzema one. But the thing for me with Ward that's so special about him, he's a great shot stopper, no?
Yes.
Whereas,
I think we've proven that last night as well.
Yeah. I mean, he's a great reaction keeper. But Hennessy, the thing with Hennessy is he's very good at being in the goal for doing nothing for 80 minutes and then suddenly called into action. He's fast. He reacts fast. Because the problem that we have with our keepers is that neither of them get first team football anywhere. You know, the only time they play is for us. So that's the big thing to come. But I mean, Danny Ward's definitely put his name in lights after that game against.
I think it was start.
Yeah.
I think did the last 2 games or last friendly games he started?
Yeah, Hennessy was.
I got Hennessy. I think apparently the last game's Mexico. He played.
He was injured, isn't he? I can't remember.
Yeah.
It was playing for Wales. He got injured as well. He's never going to get injured playing for Palace.
Yeah.
He can bloody play. But
always training, mate. There's always training.
Well, true. That's a very good point. Training under Woy.
He's not there anymore.
Not anymore, mate.
not anymore. But
I agree with you both, though. Like Hennessy, he's old, reliable. Can't fault him. He always shows up in the Wales shirt, but neither of them are playing. Ward's getting the chances when we are playing, and he's putting really good performances in. Like,
Sorry, the only thing I think he might go Hennessy with is his experience. I think that's the only thing he'll hurt Ward's chances, but I think
Ward's been there as well.
I think if we see on Albania who he starts with, there'll be a lot of questions if it's Hennessy or Ward, but I think he'll go Ward. I think that he's our new first team keeper now.
I think it's a good way for Rob Page to sort of stamp his authority on the team as well, because Hennessy's been our number 1 since I can remember now, really, to be honest. And, chucking Ward in there could be sort of Rob Page's sort of announcement on the scene, you know what I mean? That, now this is my squad, I'm doing it my way, I've got Danny Ward in goal,
Yeah, definitely. I mean, why is it really Rob Page's team, though? Thinking about the squad selection personally, the overall squad, I'm saying not for the France game. He's picked players like Dylan Levitt. I genuinely think he's only there because he's a United player. He was on loan in Croatia. I think he played 7 games or something like that. And he's getting in the squad over Will Volks, who's played, I don't know if he's been injured this year. He's played basically a whole year for Cardiff, hasn't he?
He's
higher
the
level as well. And yeah, but Danny Ward definitely showed, even in the Slovakia game, like he did all right deputising for Hennessy. I think he hurt his, was it his back on the plane, something like that. But yeah, but I don't know. Maybe he'll throw a complete curveball out in the Albania game and start Adam Davis. Who knows?
Why not? I don't see any problem in that, to be honest. I mean, I think the Albania game has to be, well, after playing, as we had to against France, being down to 10 men and everything, I think the Albania game sort of, there's 2 ways you can approach it, isn't it? There's either, okay, now this is actually, we're going to actually practice tactics and everything because we didn't have a chance to do it against France. Or you can say, bloody hell, they've had a shift against France. It's 10 men. Let's wrap them in cotton wool and stick the young guns on, you know? So I don't know which way it'll go.
So, Shao, I think it just depends on maybe some of the players who have been on the fringe with the fitness a bit. You know, I think Ben Davis is only properly coming back. Ramsey's bit, I don't know how much he's been playing for Juve.
Ramsey against France is a magician. And he's so good. It makes such a difference because you forget, you know, because Ramsey's so absent for us the past 2-3 years now that you sort of forget the scale of difference that he makes. Because as well, we've been doing well without him. So you sort of start thinking, well, you know, if Ramsey's not playing now, although it's a massive loss, you know, it's no longer the end of the world. But then he comes on for like 20 minutes against France, and you really see what he does for this team, and it's special. That free kick, he went outside the box, dribbling through him. When he went down, I had my heart in my mouth. But it just goes to show Ramsey for us, he could be huge for us this Euros if he stays fit, obviously.
Stays fit, and with the stupid UEFA 2 yellow card and a ban. Have they rescinded that for this tournament? They're bloody better off, because quite concerned about Kiefer Moore picking up yellow.
Yeah, God, that's such a good point. Yeah, I think Kiefer Moore should accumulate per elbow. So 2 for one elbow and 2 for the other. 2 for one. So he gets 4, you know.
Send his arm off and he can tuck it in his shirt.
Aye. But if Rambo doesn't get on the plane, with a bleached head of hair, then he might as well stay home, as far as I'm concerned.
I'm thinking about this game on Saturday. I wonder if we're going to go full 11 for the first half.
Well, this is it, isn't it? Yeah.
Because if you think about it, next week, we're going to have to play our full team. Just one half. Take 5 half or so in at half time. Let's see what we can do for half.
Yeah.
If we want to work. Or is it a case that we're still undecided on our starting 11?
I reckon so, you know. I reckon Rob Page.
Or are we still undecided what formation we're going to play?
Yeah.
I think there's a lot to take into this. I mean, Moore hasn't started the last 2. I could be wrong.
No, you're right.
So are we starting to think we've got more usage out wide and trying to bomb the lines with the pace of Bale and James, with whoever's going to be sitting as
he fancies Harry Wilson
striker number 9, whatever. What are they going to do? What's this centre attacking mid? As of seeing what they do, and are they the ones feeding the balls out wide, or are they going to be a striker? Are we going to stay with 4-3-3, or is he going to drop and be more creative?
It's very interesting.
That's my question. I'm just thinking around that now, and I don't really know what we're planning, because we did what we did last night. I think there were signs showing that we could do it, but obviously when it goes down to 10 men, it's a completely different game, so it's hard to say. But I think involved with that against France, the few minutes we did have 11 on the pitch, we did show signs of playing forward, but we did also show signs that were open.
Sure.
Which is one thing we mentioned quite a bit, but we did show signs either way it could work. And it's a question of, if we go with that, are we playing to win and score a load of goals and hope our defence can do it? Or are we just asking our defence to...
Well, in a 4-3-3, we play Harry Wilson as a false 9, don't we? But, I mean, Harry Wilson isn't the paciest player, is he? I mean, that's, as a Liverpool fan, that's most Liverpool fans' main concern, and the main reason they want to offload him is he hasn't got the pace, you know? He's a creative player, he scores outrageous goals and everything, but he just doesn't really have the pace going forward. So I don't see why Kiefer Moore couldn't do that role. When he came on in the second half against France, he won every single ball at Blanc and he shifted it out to the wings. His hold-up play is outstanding. So I don't see why Kiefer Moore couldn't work in a 4-3-3 formation as well. I think, again, it's something we probably would have seen, actually, if Neco Williamson gets sent off. But I thought it was really interesting, and I thought it was really bold as well, that Rob Page changed formation, but just before kickoff, having seen the French formation. I think, it's good, because maybe one of the problems we've had in previous years, especially in the qualifying campaigns, is that we've been too rigid in our formation. We haven't had the fluidity. We haven't had a plan B so much. I mean, you think Chrissy Coleman, 5 at the back, Bale in attack, you know, and the Giggs as well. Well, Giggs started in that sense quite stubbornly, but then, you know, later on in his I don't know what to call it, his tenure, he started to change things around a bit and everything else. But I'm happy to see Rob Page experimenting a little bit more and everything, you know. And I think Rob Page, he's got I'm a massive fan of his. I think he's done outstanding for us. I'm so happy and so satisfied with winning 1-0 every single game. I couldn't give a hoot. I don't know.
I think when it comes to internationals, I don't care.
Honestly,
how many we score as long as we win. I want to get to a World Cup. 100%. I think that's everyone's dream now, isn't it? Right, we've done Euros. Let's get to the World Cup, please.
There's your inner Chris Sutton coming out.
Did you watch? Have you guys watched the Ellis James Football Nation thing on BBC yet? Watching that, those old. Oh, you have to watch it, Lewis. It's excellent. Watching those old clips of John Charles in the 1958 World Cup and everything. It makes me crave it. You know what I mean? I'd love to see it.
Could not imagine waiting that long for, you know, we're only in our early 20s, aren't well, mid-20s now, for you and me.
Well, I never expected to see us get to a Euros, but we did it in 2016. Exactly. And
we got to 2 on the bounce now.
Yeah, so never say never.
Even crazy, but I agree with what you're both saying about Page sort of putting his own, you know, he said he's put his own stamp on the team a bit more now. We do seem to be able to change the system a bit when we need to, but the way he's bit, you know, I don't think Kiefer Moore started in the 2 qualifiers, did he? So by that sort of definition, it does seem that he's plan B, but
yeah, God knows what he's done wrong.
He's a good option to have, but I don't know if he's done anything wrong, really.
I think what it is sometimes these target men again in internationals, especially against stronger teams, and we've got, in my opinion, a strong group. He might get isolated. But that's our magic word, isolation.
Yeah. I think the downfall of Kiefer Moore.
I think that's the issue, is he'll be coming up against guys his size or just well set defensively, tactically. And that's the question again of, do we play with that striker? Yeah. If he does play, are we going to be isolating?
He scores though, Lewis, doesn't he?
There's a lot of things, and I think the target man internationally is almost falling away.
He scores though, doesn't he?
Because you've got to be so flexible now. I mean, like those topics or articles, I don't know if you guys know this, about the dying sort of, is it traditional number 10? So like Mario Götze, Kagawa, and people were saying, have they got room in this sort of teams now? Or is it the lower teams that are going to have to be picking up those sort of players? Because the teams want to play with faster, more physical, more athletic players, really. And that's my issue with Moore, is he's not very athletic in terms of getting that ball, or not getting the ball, sorry, in his movement.
Yeah.
So I wonder if that's sort of the question that he's put in his head in terms of, is he going to get isolated?
At the end of the day, though, his goal tally doesn't lie, does it? I'm not sure if this is true, but he must be the highest Welsh goal scorer in any league anywhere this year, no? He bashed him in this year. I mean, Gareth Bale, I don't know how many Gareth Bale got for Tottenham, but I think
Bale's form picked up later on, didn't it?
Yeah, definitely. But Kiefer Moore was knocking on the door for 20, wasn't he? So
I think he got 20. He was the first player since Peter Whittingham did for Cardiff City to get 20. I think the last striker to get over like 14 or 15 was Jay Bothroyd, and he was ages ago he played for them. So
there you are, then. I honestly don't know what he's done wrong. The only thing I can think of is discipline, you know, in brackets, you know, because he does get booked at international level. It's not like the Championship at all. You know, the refs are more tetchy and everything, and he did get booked in the majority, I think, of the Nation League's games that he played, you know. Because he is all elbows and shoving around and everything. But, you know, we love to see it, but it doesn't mean that it translates well on the international stage in the eyes of the officials, I guess. But I'm a massive Kiefer Moore fan. I want to see him starting, to be honest. I'm also a massive Harry Wilson fan, and I think there's space for him also. But, you know, if you're playing that 4-3-3 or that 5-3-2...
I think it's hard to pick. Because you've got Aaron and Alan, Ramsey and Alan. or 2 nailed on. And
Oh,
it's
Aaron, is it? Aaron?
I just said Aaron now.
You're on first name basis with him, are you?
Yeah, first mate. We're good mates.
Bleaching his hair next week,
Never met the guy. I'm sure he's great, but no.
You've been drinking with him in forum, have you? In Cardiff?
That makes it harder because those two are practically guaranteed.
Yeah, of course.
Nailed on. And then there's a question of, do we throw Ampadu in at times, or is he going to play centre back?
Ampadu's going to be a number 6.
We have options.
Yeah, Ampadu's got to be in there as an anchor in number 6, isn't he? You got Joe Allen and Rambo, and that makes a midfield 3 for me. I mean, I don't see Joe. This is the problem though, because Joe Morel against France was outstanding. I think the other shining player from that game, apart from Danny Ward, has to be Joe Morel, and I think that's quite a popular view and stuff as well. How he's not getting games for Luton, I ain't got a Scooby-Doo. It's just mental. I mean, where did Luton fit? Because they started very well.
Mid-table.
But they ended up mid-table.
I think.
They were
Chuck and I thought they're mid-table.
Well, they started really well, didn't they? Because they got Nathan Jones. He was a Welsh manager, isn't he?
I think they got him back because he took him into the Championship, didn't he?
Yeah, and then he went to Stoke. It all went Pete Tong, and
then he came back.
He went back. He went crawling back, didn't he?
He might be lower mid. Sorry.
Yeah,
lower mid.
I reckon you're right, but they did start really well. They had a great start to the season. But Joe Morel, how he can, he is definitely Championship quality. He's top half of the Championship quality, and I think he just his work rate. He's just like a little Jack Russell a little bit. And he's constantly there. He's a nuisance for the opposition, and that's what I love to see. Me personally, for my sort of preferences to football, I want to see players that run their socks off. They run themselves into the ground, constantly annoying the opposition, constantly getting in the face. He's constantly biting at the ankles. So I've got a lot of time for Joe Morel, and I do hope he has a big part to play in the Euros, to be honest.
It's a bit of a shame for Morel that he sort of hasn't, I don't want to say nailed down a starting spot in the Wales squad, but every time he puts a shirt on, he puts a really good performance. And for a player that's, is it League One or Championship?
Championship. But he was out on loan, wasn't he? Was he at?
I think he was on loan at League
Lincoln?
One somewhere. Yeah, where
Lincoln.
Brennan Johnson is.
Yeah, I think
it was because he was on loan as well. But he never puts a foot wrong in a Wales shirt. He looks comfortable playing on the international stage. We were playing bloody world champions last night, so it's just a bit weird that he can't get a game for his club. But
and I think his mum follows us on Twitter.
Oh, does she?
I think so. Someone Morel followed us on Twitter, and I went on it, and it's a picture of dog. So I mean, mum.
We'll have to investigate a bit later.
You're not sure it's just somebody else called Morel?
It's not possible, Lewis. It's just not possible.
Quite a popular name, I imagine.
No, I went on the Twitter profile. Shout out to Alison Morel. I went on the Twitter profile and she had like Joe Morel pictures and that. I was like,
oh, maybe.
Oh,
maybe just
Joe
a big
Rodon's
fan.
brother's quite funny on Twitter, so maybe it's another.
Who knows? But shout out to Alison Morel.
Hang on, you're lagging.
I think it's just for you, pal, with the North Walian internet.
Just Lewis.
It's awful, mate. This internet that I've got is shocking. Oh well, we're carrying on.
I'm literally here in bloody Spain, and I've got a better signal than you.
No, with regard to what you were saying about Moore, Wilson, I think it depends on who are playing in the group as to who will start, obviously. But you look at a team like Switzerland, I'd say their best strengths probably lie defensively. They've got a few players going forward, like Shaqiri, but they're quite resolute at the back. I don't think they concede that many goals. Whereas you look at Turkey, they're more of a free scoring team, and I think they've won most of their games scoring and conceding a few, but outscoring the opposition. So
dark horse this year, Turkey. Dark horse.
Definitely.
No, I'm going Denmark.
What do you mean, to win it?
No, to like dark horse, like surprise one. I think Denmark.
I wouldn't be surprised if Denmark do well. I think
Denmark have been doing really well.
Beat England.
Exactly.
Good crop of players coming through at the right
Denmark
time.
are doing well. They're a unit. Like people will just be like, oh, it's Denmark. Yeah, they're quite good at the minute.
They've got more players in you. Kasper Dolberg is Danish, isn't he?
Yep.
Yusuf Poulsen for RB Leipzig, yeah. So yeah, I'm with you there, Lewis. But I do Turkey for me worry me in the group more than Switzerland.
Yeah.
I've got a question. I've got a question about Switzerland. Hold on.
Ooh.
Right. So how can I word it? What is the furthest?
If you're going to ask a question, make sure you got the
You
wording
should have
right
written this
first.
down, mate. Seriously.
Ah,
I've got a question. Hang on, let me just word it. Let me word it.
I hadn't planned this. It's off the cuff. This is, this is live action. What is the furthest Switzerland have ever gone in a major tournament?
Oh, good question. I'm going to say
I can
quarters.
see Martin fiddling with his phone there under the table.
I'm not doing shit, bro. My phone's here on the desk.
I'm worried it's going to be something like just the group stage, but I think quarters. No.
Not the quarters.
Semi-finals.
No.
Not the semis.
They didn't go to the final.
Not the final.
Never got to one. Are they San Marino? Come on. Is it a facade?
Round of 16. You just completely disregarded the stage.
What year was that?
It was 2016.
I thought it was.
They ever got, yeah.
When you said that, I was like, round 16, I was like, sure they got through that group.
The tournament that got Xhaka ended up at bloody Arsenal. So
we don't talk about that tournament. That never happened.
What? Euro 2016 never happened.
No, I mean Switzerland never got it. Who's Granit Xhaka?
I bloody well did, Martin.
He just sounds like a lump of
I
Swiss
based my
cheese,
entire adult personality out of Euro 2016. It has to have happened,
Drunk, happy, and in France.
Here's a question for you then, boys. Chances of the group getting through. What do we think?
Us? Wales,
yeah. Or how do we think this group's going to lie? I think Italy, in my opinion, will go top.
Obviously.
I think they're very strong. However, I think they may have had a bit of a bad run at one point. I could be wrong.
I think you're right. I think
correct me.
have Italy
did they not miss out on
undefeated?
a Euros or something?
What's that, sorry?
I reckon in the run-up to this, Italy have gone undefeated. I should definitely have done it.
I don't know. I thought they had a bad spell at one point, unless I'm thinking of somebody else.
I think they've had a revival in the camp. You know what I mean? Like, because you're right, Martin. I don't think they were at the. Were they at Euro 2016?
They missed out on one of the major tournaments.
Them and Holland
which one it.
both messed it up.
The Netherlands. Yeah.
Them and Holland both messed it up.
I think in the run-up to this, they've been undefeated. I reckon the same as you, Lewis. I reckon, asking Wales to beat it. Well, we've done it before. We got a record against Italy.
I'm sort of thinking Italy top, and then it comes down to the second. And there is that best placed third finish.
That's
as well.
true.
That's important for us. So we could end up getting that, but chances are quite slim, in my opinion.
I mean, the target has to be second, doesn't it?
Yeah, you always aim for second, but I think it's a really tough one because I don't know enough about Turkey and Switzerland.
Yeah,
I know their players, and they're like us. They've got some solid players in there.
Yeah,
all right, we've got the exception of two outstanding world-class players, but that doesn't mean Switzerland and Turkey don't have any standouts or anything like. It's tough.
I think they're very similar teams to us, to be honest.
Yeah.
Which is the interesting thing. I mean, I don't know much. I think anybody who says in the run-up to this that they know a lot about Switzerland or Turkey national football team,
they better have lived over there for God knows how many years.
They're massive nerds or the lion. So I don't know much about it, but looking at the squads, looking at, just being able to pick out 2 or 3 players. I mean, Switzerland have got Shaqiri, like you said, and
Ricardo Rodriguez.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a little tricky fullback, especially if there's some free kicks or something. He can have a good little hit. You've got Xhaka who's good. Well, okay, mine. We know you don't really like him, but
does
he plays well enough.
Leeds play from as well?
What's that, sorry?
Does Berardi from Leeds play from? I think he does,
Well, he's Swiss, but I don't think he makes the side.
Don't know. He might be in the squad.
They're lost because he's
past it now, isn't he? Be too busy bloody Cantona kicking people.
They still have that Sommer guy. I think he was playing that
Jan Sommer, goalkeeper. Trying to think, so there's that Adjaya. I think he plays for Celtic, the centre half. Oh no, he's Danish. I've gone back onto Denmark now. And there's that Renato Stefan. I think he's a right-sided winger. He's quite tricky. Swiss striker Breland Bolo.
Breland Bolo, Christ, yeah.
Yeah.
Classic FIFA
Big
signing.
tough boys.
Classic
grower. He's
what
not sure.
What was the other name he has? It's like Breel, Donald, and Bolo.
Donald, I think
Is it
so.
Donald?
Yeah, he dropped Donald for some reason. That was.
I would drop Donald, to be honest. It's not the most popular name anymore, is it?
What about Donny as an ode to your days spent in Doncaster?
That also we don't talk about.
Okay. Since you don't want to talk about Doncaster, should we talk about the game that we've got coming up on Saturday? Discussed it a little bit more. I want to throw this in because I've got a little bit of Albania trivia for you guys coming in a minute. I don't think you'll get the answers, but let's try anyway. It's going to be the first game back in front of the Red Wall on Saturday, isn't it? 6,500 fans they're letting in.
I thought it was 500.
No.
Thought they'd sold 6,500 tickets for it.
Yeah, we've got quite a big crowd.
You've ruined a surprise for me now, because if I turned it on, there was bloody nearly 7,000 people there. And I'm surprised now. I was expecting.
It's going to be nice to have them back as well.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, before you go on to the Albania quiz, there's no fans, or are there fans in separate countries for Euros?
Hold on, I'm going to turn my light on because it's pitch black. I've got this like little light here. Hold on.
I think the answer's in selected countries, isn't it?
And it's not a quiz, by the way. It's one.
I know, it's just popped in my head.
That's a very good question. I think they advised fans not to travel to Baku.
Yeah.
I'd probably Rome as well, like, because I don't know what the situation's like. Whenever they mention COVID on the news now, for my own sanity, I just turn it off. So, yeah.
What's this quiz? What's this question? Come on.
Okay then. Okay. And I've actually prepared this on like Teacher Man, so I'm just going to rattle this off nicely.
I know, isn't it? They do all this planning qualification stuff and doesn't even do it. Shocking.
Okay, now we're done berating Sam.
His head.
Okay.
His head.
Okay, don't quote me on the year, but I believe it was 94. In a European Championship qualifier, 1994, Wales beat Albania at Cardiff Arms Park. 2-0 was the final score. This is open to both of you. The question, can either of you name the two players who both went on to manage Wales themselves, who grabbed a goal each in that game? So
Chrissy Coleman.
That's one.
And Sparky.
No. Why am I saying Speed?
Not Sparky.
Not Sparky.
Nah, Speed's a good shout.
He played, but he didn't score.
No, did he play?
He did. I looked this up before.
Christ, who else has managed
Even though we were for like 2 or 3 years. Giggs. Yeah, Ryan Giggs.
Hey!
Well done,
yes, Lewis, you didn't get any of them.
I know. Shocking from me.
Did you even put a guess in? So I sort of glossed over.
He guessed for Gary Speed, didn't he?
Gary Speed, that was it. He did play.
I've seen a few random ones.
All right. Well, I mean, I just wish we could pretend Ryan Giggs. Again, we don't speak about Ryan Giggs.
Let's not bring that up today. We don't get cancelled before we've even started.
It's going to genuinely end up with our bloody catchphrases we don't talk about. We don't talk about Ryan Giggs.
That's the intro. We don't talk about Ryan Giggs.
That was a good question, that.
I know.
Yeah, I enjoyed that one.
That little bit.
I enjoyed that. Yeah, I enjoyed that.
Before we were born as well, so I didn't. Yeah. I'm quite surprised you managed to get it. To be fair.
Do you want my trivia question that I actually planned?
Yeah, go on then.
Yeah, go on. We'll do.
This is my trivia question. Yeah, this is the one I actually planned. So if I fumble on my words now you can really properly like throw me to the wolves. All right. So who is the top scoring Wales international not born in Wales?
Oh, now that when you said top goal scorer, I was like, Bale. I know that, but as soon as you said not
born in Wales.
Oh,
I'm trying to think now who's not been born in Wales.
I'm pretty good at this as well, because I don't know what it is. Whenever someone plays for
the
Wales,
first one that's come to my head is Andy King. I don't know why.
Andy King? No.
Did he score that many?
I don't know if he's ever scored
many. He was always a bench warmer. I mean, he did well.
Cracking player. I mean, Andy King has won every division with the same club. He's the only person
Leicester,
done it. Yeah, he's done division. Second.
One championship.
And Prem. Good lad. Is he still playing? He's still knocking around.
I think he's in China.
In China.
Making that money.
Or somewhere.
Why not? Power to him.
Somewhere,
did it.
Power to him.
Got Premier League winners
expect.
He's got nothing else to win here. That's why he's bored. He was bored. Andy King rules all as a king.
Have you got any other guesses in mind?
I'm completely stumped by that after. That's why I've just been nodding and being like, yeah.
I'm trying to think.
Realise I was.
Go on then, Sam. I think we've given up.
I'll give you Simon Church is a good shout, but no.
Oh, God.
I don't even know where
I think Simon Church was born in Wales, to be honest.
Oh, we don't talk about Simon Church in this one.
Is it Sam Vokes?
It is Sam Vokes. Well done. Big Sam. It was Big Sam.
All right, then, boys,
The
we're
real
going to
big fan.
mine. And just so I don't mess it up, using mobile technology.
Oh, you can't do that after giving me all that shite. You can't read it off your phone.
Too late, mate. Too late.
Honestly, the state of your son.
Well, this is the thing. Delivery needs to be perfection. So, perfection. Can't go wrong. Okay,
A
so
monkey could read it off a cue
you've
card.
still got two questions mixed in here now. So what year was Joe Allen's last goal scored for Wales? And also, how many goals has he scored for Wales?
Joe Allen, his last goal was against Moldova, I reckon.
Yeah.
2018.
We watched it in the library pub, Martin.
2017.
2017, yeah.
No.
2016.
You got one game right.
Against Moldova. Because we watched it in the library in Leeds, in the pub. It'll be 2016, then, won't it? Because it was on the
2016. The next question. How many goals has he scored for us?
I can tell you the score from that game as well. It was 4-1 to Wales.
Yeah, how many goals has Joe Allen scored?
Single figures, I reckon.
Is it 7?
No.
4.
No.
Higher?
Lower.
2.
Lower, but
2.
2 goals?
Yeah.
Where's
Who's
the other one
the
come
other
from
team?
then? Ireland.
Austria.
Austria? When was
Yeah,
that?
2016.
Was it? No.
Both goals scored in 2016.
Oh, was that the away gig? Because we went to the
Yes.
home one.
We went
didn't
to the home one.
You went as well, didn't you?
Penny Woodburn. Yeah, we were all. Where did we go drinking before that game? Was it the All England door?
We've
Yeah,
been
I think so.
I'm trying to remember because
think
I
we
went
went
to another
first.
game with you as well,
What
Lewis, didn't I?
was
I went to the Denmark game. Do you remember? Went to the Denmark game. We went drinking with your dad in what's the name of the pub on St Mary Street in Cardiff?
Yeah, Rift and Co. Varsity.
No, it won on St Mary Street on like the high street.
Oh, St Mary Street. Oh my God.
Proper
Oh,
old-fashioned
the cottage.
style pub. The cottage,
Cottage,
yeah.
yeah.
See, I had the cottage in my head, but I was thinking, nah, that's Llandudno.
No, it's the cottage. Yeah. What a pub.
I do some good little trivia in it. I like that. I enjoyed
It was
that.
all right to be fair. It's a typical old pub in it. Yeah.
Anyone got any more trivia questions or
No.
anecdotes to?
I mean, I don't know
I'm
if this
too
is the point where we
self-conscious.
sort of share a funny story about one of our experiences in Rift and Co, Sam.
Oh no, he's
In
taking us
Rift
to the
and Co.
bathroom.
Do you
I feel
remember
sorry for you, Sam,
do you remember the what do you call it? Brawl?
The bar brawl. Yeah, mate.
Yeah.
Oh, Christ, how could I forget?
Yeah, so this one basically, this was just mad, just a bit of fun. Me, you, and it was Cal, wasn't it? My flatmate at the time, just gone for a nice few drinks at Rift and Co.
Bit of darts.
Yeah, a bit of darts, bit of pool. As you do, 50 people, we loved it. Okay, we were in there constantly, practically constantly all fed you, weren't we? Like, we were always in there.
But to be honest,
this one night just got a bit lively. We saw one stag do come in, thought nothing of it.
It was a stag do and a hen do, wasn't it?
And a hen do.
Aye.
But there was another stag do that came in. So we've got 2 stag do's and a hen do. And then I think another hen do comes in. So we've got four groups going.
By this time, the darts game's ruined. Can't move for nothing.
Yeah. So yeah, we're still trying to play. And I look over to my shoulder on the right, and I noticed the bouncer's gone over there. And I'm just thinking, oh, he just looks like he's having a little chat or something. I think one of them's a bit too drunk. The next minute, I see him literally like grab this guy and he's pushing him back. The guy who he's grabbing goes into this girl on one of the hen do's, spills a drink over this other girl on the other hen do, and that just kicks things right off to where there is literally, they are slapping each other. The bouncers then lost grip of this guy. He's then gone for the guy on the other stag do because of God knows what. And me and Sam and Carl are just literally watching it as this happens to be 4 groups just fighting each other.
It was like watching bloody Royal Rumble.
Yeah, honestly,
50 people
it was just
insane.
insane. We were literally there. We saw someone pick up a cue ball. Sadly, nothing. Thankfully, nothing happened with that.
Take
But
his sock
honestly,
off and everything.
they literally got around 3 trucks of police, and they'd all gone by that time.
Ooh, I was there. You know that meme? You know that meme when it's the fist like that?
Yeah.
That was me, but with a bloody dart in it, like ready.
Yeah,
now.
I literally remember just thinking, oh my God, if something happens here now, like we need to be careful. So I like snuck to the back and that sort of thing,
Christ,
watching
like,
from long distance.
Like Shaun of the Dead with the dart.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Oh.
I have to say, I quite enjoyed how you were telling that story, Lewis. It sounded like you just there cowering under the pool table. Like,
honestly,
the
so as you walk in, there was a table to say like a 4 o'clock sort of position as you go in. I'm literally just there at the back, just watching it, like people throwing fists. I think there was a few drinks that went over.
What do you
as
mean
well. The
5-4?
bouncer gets put onto a pool table. This lad then tries to calm him down or something. He says something he shouldn't have, basically trying to calm him down. And then this guy tries to throw a punch at him, and it's literally 1 mile an hour. Like, I've never seen the slowest punch in my life. Like, it was just a bit embarrassing, to be honest, but eventful night that I'm probably never going to forget.
Honestly, Lewis, I'm not going to let you get away with that. You said a 5-4 position on the clock. Do you mean like 20 past, 25
yeah,
past?
so yeah, if you're looking at the clock, you've got 4 and 5. That way.
And is it, Lewis, you say it's like 12 past 6 when it's actually 6 o'clock?
I meant between 4 and 5 position, all right?
What's...
Right, I'm being bullied, I'm off.
No, I'm not really assistant,
Lewis, you told
one of these people?
He told that story very well. He probably had that written down also, didn't he?
No, that one's not written down, mate.
I just want to check before we move on. Are you one of these people that can't tell time on a clock and you have to use the digital one on your phone constantly?
No, I can, but I'm worried I'm going to get quizzed.
I demand to see your wristwatch. I demand it. I got it. Oh, look at that. He hasn't got it. Well.
I'm clean, mate.
Doesn't have one, mate. Lost in a pub fight.
I'm the one on side.
He doesn't have it. He lost it at 2 past.
Since we've
lost it at 5 to 4, whatever I said.
Anyway,
it's nearly 5 to 4 past 9 now. So since we've been talking about the past, shall we look a bit ahead into the future?
Yeah, why not? Get away from
Gareth,
this conversation.
Yeah, oh, okay. Wow, someone's going through puberty again. That was fun. Looking past the Euro 2020, I'm sure, well, you spoke about this before. Obviously, you've read about this. Been some speculation in the press, as there is most of the time, to be fair, regarding Gareth Bale. And again, it's been, where's he going to play his football next season? Is there a place for him at Madrid? Is he going to retire from club football, take up professional golf outside the international window? Is one genuine theory I've heard. I'll read you a quote from the great man, actually. The main thing is, I don't want to say anything that's going to cause more chaos or more drama or cause a distraction. I just want to focus on the Euros. I don't want to say anything that's going to cause any problems on what I'm doing or what I'm not doing. When the Euros finishes for us, I'll sit down and decide what I want to do then. Since I've just copied Lewis's acumen and read that off the screen, Lewis, do you want to tell us your thoughts on that first?
Yeah, I'm saying this from up here as well. There's no screen other than the one I'm speaking to. Just before anyone criticises me on that. Does he have a place at Real Madrid? Yes.
Yeah, mate.
I think he does.
Shit.
I think if Ancelotti's gone there, which he has, I think he does. I think that's going to be interesting. I think, and we know the fans aren't big on him, especially with how he was dealt with Zidane and all the stuff before he went to Tottenham. But I think he does have a place there still. And I think Bale being Bale, he'll still put a performance in. Yes, we might just see a little few things where he's at a golf course or just stupid things that we don't need to see. But I do think he's got a place there. But I still, if people got funds, I wouldn't be surprised if he leaves at the same time. But I think my honest opinion is that he'll be there for next season. In terms of retiring, I don't think he is. I really don't think he's going to retire.
Oh, God.
Just yet. I think it'd be a shame. Is he 32? I've got it right, 32, 33, something like that. I think that's just the agent trying to get attention.
Well, no, it's the other way around. But it's Spanish press, isn't it? You know what they're like.
Oh, there's that as well. Yeah,
Well, the agents
it's just
come
people
out,
getting attention seeking. I don't believe it.
Well, the agent's come
Yeah.
out and said it's not true, isn't he? So it's definitely not the agent. The agent's come out and said, "There's
My bad on calling the agent out there. That's usually the agents.
I think that's a disgrace. I think you should apologise to the agent now.
I'm sorry to the
Jonathan
agent.
Barnett's calling me right now. Do you want to get him while I've got him?
Yeah, that's fine. Just pause this.
I think that Gareth Bale's plans have changed in the past week. I think he was on his way out. I think he would have gone to America or China. And now that Zidane's gone again, I think he'll do exactly what he did last time when Zidane left. You know, he was going to leave. Zidane left before him. He stayed. He had a half decent season, and then, unfortunately for him, Zidane came back. You know, so I think now that Ancelotti's there, Ancelotti's seen him play in the Premier League this year. You know, he's played against him this year in the Premier League. I think both of the Tottenham Everton. The first game was 1-0 to Tottenham. I think 1-0 to Everton. It's the first game of the season, own goal.
Oh, yeah.
And the last game they played was a goalless draw, so he hasn't scored against him or anything like that. But I think Ancelotti, anybody who's watching Premier League this season will be impressed with Bale. If they don't listen to
especially the second half of the season.
Yeah, if they don't listen to Football Daily to get all their bloody information, they don't listen to, tripe coming out of Chris Sutton's mouth or Gabia Bonglahor or whoever does it these days.
Flaviab cannot score.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but I mean, he's had a great season for Spurs. I don't care what anybody says. He didn't play enough. Definitely, that's fair. If he was to stay at Spurs again, then he'd have another great season for him. I think in fact, by the end of the season, he had the best goals and assists to minutes ratio in the Premier League. So that goes to show when he plays, he scores. So it's all about getting him on that pitch. Now, how do you do that? Well, you probably let him do his own thing, don't you? But as to retirement, I think he's a long way off it. I think Gareth Bale loves the game more than we know.
I think he's still got a little bit more to do with Wales as well.
Yeah, definitely.
I think that will keep him on. I think when he retires, he'll retire from everything.
He's got to get us to a World Cup yet.
Yeah,
I was going to say, it could be a
that's
World
the one
Cup
he's
next
on, isn't it?
I think
half a season this year as well, give or take a few games here and there. But like you said, he got the highest goals per minutes ratio, the strike rate as well, that XG BS they come up with, it's 1.07. So it's basically a goal a game, which, he's world-class footballer. He'd stroll into the starting lineup of most sides. It's just who can pick up the slack for his wage bill, because is it 600,000 a week reported he's on at Madrid?
Yeah, it's a big bill to pay.
If you look at Spurs at the minute though, I know Kane's not on massive wages.
Kane's out the door, isn't he? Though,
but if he's out the door, there's if they get a big fee for him, there's a lot of money spare there. And Daniel Levy bought him back for a loan spell. What's to say he can't get a cut price deal, bring him back permanently? He's not going to retire after the tournament. I don't know where they've concocted that idea from. That's a load of bollocks, if you ask me.
It's just an easy headline, isn't it? I mean, it's a clickbait thing for sure. And, living in Spain, I see firsthand, not just how the Spanish press are with him, but the Spanish public. They just chat utter nonsense, Like whenever I speak to a Spanish person, they go, "Oh God, your Spanish is better than Gareth Bale's already." It's like, good one. Cheers. He's just not liked here. Full stop. Why? Because several things. Obviously, his injury record has seen people soured against him. There's this fabricated idea that he doesn't speak Spanish. There's interviews of him speaking Spanish. He speaks better Spanish than he does Welsh, but you don't see Welsh people complaining. And at the end of the day, the problem with Gareth Bale is this golf story and everything like this. It's been perpetuated for so long that it's sort of become a bit hegemonic, hasn't it? It's become like,
maybe he'll do golf once he retires.
I don't think he even will. I think
in a few years.
It's a pastime. I think every single football player probably plays golf in their spare time.
How many footballers play golf?
Honestly,
on days off, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. I think having seen Gareth Bale this year playing at Spurs as well, I don't know, Martin, you're a massive Arsenal fan, so probably you aren't. But if you look at the videos from the backstage or whatever that Spurs do on their social media, he looks like he's having a whale of a time. He's dead happy, he's smiling, he's making jokes. He's got the whole Welsh mafia business going with Ben Davies and Joe Rodon. that he's got so much more to give. Look at him. He's a specimen. You know, his thighs could crush walnuts. It's ridiculous. He's massive. He's nowhere near retirement in my eyes. He could go on for longer.
It's a family show. Keep it in your pants.
And at the end of the day, like you said, Martin, he hasn't actually played that much football in the past 3 years, really, since the Euros, really. I mean, well, a bit after the Euros. He hasn't played that much football. And for that reason, it could either play against him or play into his hands, you know. But as to Gareth Bale retired, the thing that scares me, because what you said, reading that interview, I remember because I watched the game as well. The last game he played with Tottenham, he used the same word, which was chaos. Now that scares me a little bit. He says, "Oh, if I say what my plans are now, it'll cause chaos." That word chaos isn't very reassuring, is it?
That means he's coming to Arsenal then, doesn't he?
That would be good. I'd have that.
Great swap for Willian.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hearing. In my dreams.
But like I said at the beginning, I reckon he'll stay at Madrid now. Now that Zidane's gone. And at the end of the day, for all the press that hate him and all the fans that hate him, Fiorentino Perez loves him. He absolutely loves him. I wouldn't be surprised if now that Zidane's gone, he gets offered a 1-year contract extension, to be honest with you.
Can anyone remember when Madrid bought Bale? Was it Mourinho or was it Ancelotti in charge?
It's a very good question.
Ancelotti.
I have a feeling I've heard someone say
Mourinho hadn't worked with Bale until this year.
Tottenham, yeah, because he made a big deal out of it, didn't he? Saying he wanted him at United and everything, and that he came to Madrid just after he left. And that, yeah, so I reckon you're right. It's Ancelotti.
Well, there we go. That's my lack of Spanish football knowledge summed up. Do you want to have a little word about the Wrexham situation at the minute? Of course, they missed out on the play. I know it's a bit of a sore subject for everyone, but we've got to talk about it because it's happened. Missed out on the playoffs, finishing 8th. It was Chesterfield that snuck in, 1-1 on the final day.
Yeah.
Just, against Dagenham and Redbridge as well, mid-table side, should be winning, and just look toothless.
It shows we're not good enough yet. Simple as that. I mean, I think when I've last spoken to you, Martin, we'd said, I was hoping, I felt good because we're on a good way of form, then we lost 1. And from there, it just went a little bit downhill. But what is good is showed that we're not good enough yet. And I think I said in the last time I spoke to you, if we go up, we're going straight back down. So in a way, we've got to sort of look at it positively. I know it would have been nice to make the playoffs, but let's look at this a little bit positively now and try and rebuild. The retained list has come out. So a few of our players have gone now.
Any shocks for you, Lewis? Any shocks on the retained list?
I'm trying to think now who was on there. Rutherford, I think he's played a few first-team games. Quite a bit.
Red card in the last game.
Red card in the last game, but he's been a first-team player for us.
What does he do aside from run, though, Paul Rutherford?
But this is the thing. This is what I always say. If they're a first-team player, even if they're not great, sometimes you might as well just keep hold and almost rebuild and just have them as the backup option and try and buy someone, maybe. And that's how I always think. Just got someone who you're not keen on, but they're better than everyone else. Keep all of them, just so that position's there. He was already on and off the bench. Redmond hasn't been great.
Well, he hasn't played.
I think when he first came on the scene, we thought it was going to be great.
Well, do you remember when we went to go see a couple of seasons ago now? I think it was his first.
We went to a game a few years ago, and he was meant to be really good.
I reckon it was Macclesfield.
Was that the one where Alex Reid scored when we had them
on
loan?
Yeah. So yeah, got good memory, Martin. Bloody hell. Yeah, Macclesfield, and he was wicked. He was playing as
he was good, but not done it. Not done it enough. And then
I think Keats didn't like him, but Keats didn't like footballers. Keats liked hoofers, didn't he? Keats play it up top.
But the question is, we haven't got a manager. Who's made this decision?
I think they're all out of contract, so they've just decided not to renew. I don't let go of Kelleher and Vassell, though. That's what I can't understand, because they're definitely, in my opinion, League 2 standard defenders.
Possibly.
Let's be honest. The biggest one we've got to talk about is Pearson. Allegedly on the move to Grimsby.
Before we get into this, also Mike Carrigan as well.
He's gone.
8 years with the club.
Yeah, he was part of the coaching staff as well with Keats.
Was he actually?
So yes,
That
I
makes
think
sense.
because
if he's
Keats
gone.
is gone, he's
Andy Davis.
also
and
joined.
Darlington have
Yeah.
also gone, haven't they?
Did you watch the interview with Keats after the
I have
Redbridge
not.
game? Oh, ugly stuff from Keats, to be honest.
Yeah.
He was saying how he hasn't been backed. He was saying how we probably got, in the bottom 5 teams in regards to budget and stuff like this. He really burnt a few bridges.
The thing is, you've got to remember,
have had him
though.
back in the first place.
The thing is, you've got to remember,
well.
this year for National League teams, a lot of it's been on and off.
Well, there's been no
But also,
certainty about anything.
we're not getting any income from fans, which
Yeah.
is one of our main income sources, is through the fans at games. And we have gone from 4,000 to 0.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. That.
And putting on like a Wednesday night game using the floodlights, it's electricity bill for us. There's little things like that are going to rise, and we're not getting any interest going. Just little things.
He's got the Excel sheet up on his screen.
I don't know why that came into my head, but it did. Just little things like that. We're running a stadium with no one there.
Lewis he's a free agent now. He's trying to get in as a bloody Lecky man as well.
Yeah, I mean, as a football coach, mate, I've got the experience.
Lecky by day, Sparky by night, and he'll add up your bills while he's on a toilet break as well. What a star!
But honestly, that if you give it a watch, I'd recommend it, because he basically says as well, if I go, the players are walking. He gave him like an ultimatum. It was ugly stuff for them,
How well does he think he's done? That's what I want to know.
Well, you know what?
He seems to be backing himself based on what you've said, and I think he's been basically tactically inept the whole time he's been at Wrexham. He has one plan to hoof it up to the big lads.
Very high standards.
If it doesn't work, he can't switch his game up.
Am I a Keats fan? No. Do I think he did well? Probably, to be honest. When he came in, we were fighting relegation, and that was the same season,
It's bad, isn't it, God? I
probably would have gone down if
I remember literally talking and thinking, "Oh my God, we could go down."
Yeah.
Oh my God.
We could have been in Chester's league.
That's all right. You can come and kip here and go smash up the Diva Stadium.
Yeah, I mean,
nice anyway.
The other one we've got to talk around is Pearson back to Grimsby.
Well, they are then.
Where he came from, which is a little surprising when you think of it. He was 28 at the time, been offered a 2-year deal now. No, he was 28 at the time when he joined us. I think that's right. Yeah. Now he's gone back to Grimsby because they're offering a 2-year deal and Wrexham's offering 1.
It's not official yet, is it?
No, but the rumours going around. Why on earth he isn't going? Why aren't we trying to get 2 years on him? Is beyond me. He's one of our main players.
At a higher level, though.
Like as soon as he came back in from his injury, he was solid.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, makes a difference.
He wants to play in.
Why are we letting him go?
I think. Do you think he's a League Two player, Sean Pearson? I've always thought personally, if we got promoted,
Grimsby have just got down.
Oh, have they?
Yep.
Oh God,
I think that's right. Yeah, they've finished bottom.
Oh God.
So whether he's moving because he's getting ready to retire.
Well, I don't know, because it's interesting, because when the whole Rob and Ryan stuff happened with Wrexham, he was giving interviews to the BBC and everything, saying how settled he was, how he's got a house here, his kids go to school here, and that, I think I remember him saying, and how he sees his long-term future here and that. We haven't heard anything from the man yet. Where I saw it was fearless and devotion.
Yeah, that
pretty good with this sort of thing for Wrexham.
Yeah, there's just rumours going around, but
scary.
Nice to see if
he'll be a massive
or not.
I've always thought if we went up to League Two, then he'd fall by the wayside a little bit. But no matter what, I always saw him being incorporated into. He wasn't he in the odds for the Wrexham manager job?
Yes.
Well, they are. I mean, I always saw him, to be honest, staying with us, and when we got promoted, maybe working his way into the coaching side of things. So it would be massively disappointing to lose him, not just because, since he came back from injury, he has been solid, doesn't he? He has been solid. Although he lacks the pace, he's so integral for us off the pitch. I remember after Ricketts left us, and God, who was the manager we had after Ricketts? It was his number 2. I can't remember his name now. He's dead old. I can't remember. Anyway, and we were in the running for the playoffs. It's the year we got into the playoffs and lost against Eastleigh, I think. And I remember being at the race course, and Pearson, you know, it was one of the I can't remember what game it was, but we were close to the end of the season, close to getting into the playoffs. And Pearson was out there like another 2 minutes longer than everybody else, geeing up the crowd and everything like that. And you felt it, you know, you really did feel it. So to think that he wouldn't be with the club any longer would be, for me, I would be personally disappointed, because I have a connection with Pearson's Wrexham, you know, like as an adult and everything.
On your mind.
Oh, I got excited for a second.
I have a connection with that side of Wrexham. I don't know about you guys.
No, I agree with you. Over lockdown, like I remember seeing video clips of him, and that I think the club was sharing him. He was out there helping in the community, delivering food parcels now when everyone was isolating and whatnot. Those are the sort of players that you have at, you know, a team like Wrexham. It's a community team. You need your players to sort of go all in with the community, help out. Yeah. That's how you build the bridges and you build the foundations for those people to eventually come to the stadium if they're not already fans. Like, he's a cracking centre half. I don't think his lack of pace would really matter that much against a lot of the League Two sides, probably the better ones in the top half of the table. But to a point, I think he could really do a job, especially in a back five with Wrexham in the league. So it is a bit of a shame. It looks like he's leaving. If he's staying at National League level, I didn't know where Grimsby were, to be honest with you. I was only focusing on the top half of League Two because Newport are in there. Don't care. But a shame to see him go. Cracking name, I have to say. Does usually on my football manager careers get signed up as a manager when he opts to, signed up as a coach, or like the under 18s manager when he opts to retire. But it's just, I sort of understand with the new manager and how they're sort of cleaning house with a lot of the players. I think 8 were released all in all. That'll make 9 if Pearson goes. Quite a few defenders have gone. I think Jay Harris has gone as well.
Jay Harris has gone now.
Bobby Grant's gone. When the bloody hell was he ever there? Jesus Christ.
Where was he on loan?
Was it Oldham?
Could be. I think you're right, yeah. Well, good riddance to the guy.
He's just taking up wage budget.
Imagine. Yeah, he was a better player than anybody else we had, but he just had the wrong attitude.
Didn't want to play at the level.
Flicking the V's at your own fans and telling them to F off.
Disgraceful. He should have had his contract terminated after that, if you ask me. But I guess that's why I'm not a football manager.
But it probably cost too much money to bloody terminate his contract. That's the kind of situation we're in, isn't it? You know. Mm-hmm. But you know, at the end of the day, it will make for an interesting episode on the documentary. When Sean Pearson leaving and everything, it will make an interesting episode on that.
Welcome to Wrexham.
I'll have the Kleenex out for the wrong reason.
I was going to say I'm Oviedo branch too far the other way right now, because we've kept it quite clean all show, and you just always got to ruin it. I know you're over there in Spain, so you think we can't get you, but the borders are opening soon, mate. So.
There's kids drinking wine on the street, Martin. Here, don't worry about it.
Dude, they're from real. We don't care. Any other football anecdotes anyone's got for today? I don't really want to talk about Swansea or Newport because, you know,
I don't want to
be a negative Nancy, but it seems like maybe a bad omen for Welsh football that all the sides have tanked it in the playoffs.
It's a good omen. It's a good omen. It's going to get them fired up because they're desperate for success now. Who's
the next season for them? That's what I'm thinking.
Who's failed in their playoffs? Swansea and Newport, right? And Wrexham didn't make it. So that's Ben Camango fired up. Connor Roberts. Joe Rodon's to Tottenham now, and he's not Swansea.
He'll be fired.
Josh Sheehan didn't make the Euro squad. That was disappointing. I like Josh Sheehan.
Seeing like Matt Smith and Dylan Levitt being put in there, like I don't want to slag off Ruben Colwell because he's a young lad being put in the squad for the first time, but saying players like Jeff Cott don't have enough experience to play. So he had bloody 18 goals in all competitions all year, I think.
Was anybody else shocked at how big Ruben Colwell was?
Yeah.
He's massive.
What are they feeding him down there?
I was watching I haven't seen a minute of the lad play, but I was watching the interviews with him and everything. He's a Welsh speaker as well, which is nice. We've got a good core of Welsh speakers in there now. Ben Davis is a Welsh speaker, Ben Cabango.
I want to say Ruben Colwell went to the same school as Ben Davis. I'm pretty sure I heard this on Ellis James's podcast.
You're right. But anyway, seeing him in the interviews and everything, he seems bachan. He looks tiny, you know. And then you see him like coming on, and I think everybody watching the game went, "Who the bloody hell is that?" He's massive. He's broad lad as well, you know. So well, that serves as well. We've been missing a big man in the midfield. I think our weakest area is the midfield, to be honest. Until now that Ramsey and Allen are back. Now they're back, you couldn't really say it. But beforehand, with well, I don't want to talk them down after I picked them up. But Joe Morel and Matt Smith, although that they've been outstanding for us and everything, it's been probably the weaker area for us. That build-up play in the midfield, it's always had to go long. We've not been able to sort of play out from the back and work our way up. Probably because we haven't got the midfield to do it. But maybe that'll change now. But anyway, Ben Colwell. What do you reckon? Were you not happy with it? No.
With him being called up, or
over Volks, or
well, I mean, there's a few players that you could have probably switched out for. Tom Lockyer has come in to replace an injured James Lawrence, but do we need 10 defenders at the tournament? If it looks like we might be playing with the back four. We've got one recognised striker in the squads. How Robson Carnu finally started scoring and then gets dropped from the squad.
That's so true. The minute
Jeff scored. Yeah, exactly. He scored against Liverpool, did he?
He did, yeah, he did.
I think he scored twice in like the last 4 or 5 games.
Last game of the year, I think, as well, didn't he?
Jeff got 16 in League One. I think he went a bit quiet about March or April, but for a young lad, I think he's 21, 22. And they're saying, he's only played for the under 23s. You can't call him up yet. He's got no international experience.
He's an ABBA lad as well.
Colwell's got one. Oh, yeah, good point. But Colwell's got one cap for the under 23s, I think. Or it might even be the under 21s.
Yeah, I think I had a look on his.
So you can't really make that argument if you're going to put him in. Especially when you're having Dylan Levy, who's going to just be warming the bench the whole time. But because he plays for United and Giggs is obviously still picking the team, in my opinion. That's why he's in there.
Oh, you don't like him, do you? He's from Bordeaux, isn't he?
I don't have a problem with Dylan Levitt. I think he's a really good player, but Giggs got the Wales job to angle for the United job, and he's going to try and butter him up by putting the United players in the Wales team. Am I being a bit far-fetched saying that?
No. It's always been United over Wales for Ryan Giggs, isn't it? So,
and the sort of character that man is, let's leave that there. Let's just dangle that preposition.
We don't talk about Ryan Giggs.
No.
We don't talk about Giggs at all.
Since we're not going to talk about Lewis, you can feel free to tune out for this last bit if you want, because I know you're not really into your MMA, but I just want to mention.
I'll stay on.
No, I just mean you can tune out, like you can just listen and pull faces at me or something.
You can listen to your shit French song.
Oh, Ouija and Animal. Brilliant.
Or you can make some more notes on your computer to read off.
Oh, I can't do that, can't I?
What's it called? What's it called again, Lewis?
Do you want an animal? France, is that it?
I'm gonna have to look at it.
I'll check on the FL.
No, say it in French. I've got a 200-day streak on my.
Do you have a pet? French. It's called. Do you have a pet?
Do you have a pet?
Tu as un animal.
That's the outro.
Is that what it's called?
Yes.
Yes. Get in. See, that's the Duolingo we're rubbing off. That is. It's all coming back to me.
You need to translate it into Spanish.
GCSE French.
The needy green owl is working his magic on Sam Evans.
Mate, I've got a GCSE in French and I've got an NVQ in business French.
And you've also got a degree in being a nerd. So.
Can I speak a word of French? Can I buggery?
You just spoke us a little sentence there before, so you.
Tu as un animal. Do you have an animal? Do you have an
You've asked a question. You can speak more than the word of French.
No, I don't.
When I go and visit,
you are an animal, young man.
Oh yes, true. Thank you.
You can just go around asking people, do they have a pet? Well, you're saying animal, not pet.
An animal.
Having an animal, you might have a tiger in your backyard. Having a pet, you should have a dog.
I know the word for pet. Another word. Animal de campagne.
The
companion animal. Oh,
exactly.
How adorable.
An animal of companionship. I think it's the same in Spanish. I think so. I'd just say a pet. Everyone knows what you mean. Tienes un pet. Elena, what's pet in Spanish?
Mascota.
Mascota, yeah. It's
mascota.
It's mascot, yeah.
Oh.
Animal de compañía as well.
Companion.
Mascota. That's what everyone says. Mascota. It's great. It's like in your little in your house, you've got your own mascot.
Your little.
Dress him up in the gear and everything, You
should definitely get Ozzy and Brennig in the little Wales tops next time.
Why not?
They might be a bit warm though. They're quite furry, aren't they?
they'll have competition for the best beard after Johnny Williams' beard. Have you seen it? How could someone so small look so hard?
Low center of gravity, mate. Hard to double leg.
He looks massive with that beard, but then you look at him standing to the others, and he's bachan as well. He's tiny.
Since we're talking about tough guys, I just want to mention before we go, one of my favorite mixed martial artists, former Cage Warriors double champion Mason Jones, is going to be making his second UFC appearance on Saturday night. He's going to be fighting in Las Vegas. What are we on? UFC Vegas 28 now, or something ridiculous like that. Mason's matched up against a veteran of the promotion since 2013, Brazil's Alan Patrick. I believe it's pronounced not Patrick because he's Brazilian.
Patrice.
Patrice.
I don't know how's it written. How's it written?
Like Patrick.
Like Patrick.
Yeah.
That'd be Alan Patrick, then, wouldn't it?
Alan Patrick, then.
I don't know, because in Portuguese they just don't pronounce syllables. It would be genuinely.
Alan Patrick.
It's like well hard to follow Portuguese. Brazilian Portuguese not as bad, but Portuguese. It sounds like Russian to me.
Sounds a bit Slavic, I was going to say.
Yeah,
like Eastern European, doesn't it?
Yeah, because it's like everything's so close. Like, it'd be like that. It'd be like Alan Patrick.
I can't talk shit about the Brazilians. No, mate. I do jiu-jitsu, so they take my belt off me. Anyway, Alan Patrick's had a few injury lists.
Bolsonaro coming after you.
So with a little grabber claws, like pulls it off. But yeah, Alan Patrick's had a few injury layoffs recently. I think he fought in 2020 against Bobby Grant, but he had 2 years off before Bobby Green. Grant. Sorry, he didn't fight Bobby Grant. He fought Bobby Green.
I wish he would.
Oh, I'd love to see that prick get double legged through the canvas. Mason's also coming off a loss, unfortunately. He suffered his first professional defeat last time out in January to Mike Davis. That being said, wasn't a brutal beating or anything. 3 rounds to Davis on the scorecard. I personally thought Mason did really well in there against a very, very hard-hitting opponent. He's got very slick boxing ability as well. Davis, very good takedown defense. Mason's chin was absolute granite during that fight. He took all of Davis's hardest shots. He was the aggressor as well, so when he was able to get inside and pressure the American up against the fence, he was teeing off with some really heavy shots of its own. Cracking chin from both guys. Fight of the night accolades as well. They both got 50k bonus off Dana White, which always sweetens the deal for a good performance. It's an interesting matchup on Saturday anyway. I was going to ask Sam what you thought about Mason, but you did not watch his last fight, which is you were busy working. I'll give you that.
Guilty.
I'm sorry. I thought I'd
busy
throw you to the walls
there.
Lines.
That's what he's doing.
Oh God!
All
right, we don't have all day to make notes,
Lewis. Lewis, it's 11:01, so shouldn't you be in bed by now?
No, because it's 6 minutes past 10 here, mate.
Oh Christ! Dude. Anyway, moving on. Has he come out of Abertillery?
No, he used to fight for a gym called Celtic Pride. He's from Blaenavon. But Mason, I believe, he's over in Sacramento in California now, training with Team Alpha Male. That's Uriah Faber's team, if you remember him.
I do.
From the old UFC games we used to smash in uni. Wales's only female athlete on the roster as well, Corey McKenna. She's over at Alpha Male. She's the youngest female fighter on the roster as well, I should say.
Also out of Sacramento, yeah?
Yeah, they're both fighting. And that's where the gym is, Team Alpha Male. So I can't remember any of the other guys in there at the minute, but it's really good for the lower weight classes. It's Team Alpha Male, it's Faber's gym. They're all really good wrestlers, really good in front headlock position, really tight guillotine chokes. That's I'd say Mason's probably more of a striker. He's got a few sub wins on his record, but that's the area of his game he's going to look to want to improve on. There's the obvious discrepancies between the American fighters, who are usually better wrestlers than the Europeans, who often were better submission artists, but that wrestling pressure, sort of holding the positions, ground and pound. That's working in the various positions. I think I'd say it's an interesting matchup, but it's a usual fight we see in the UFC. A younger fighter on the rise, maybe an older fighter on his way down. I think Patrick's 37, 38 coming into this one. So both men have probably got the main strengths in the striking department. So I imagine both of all 3 of the rounds are going to be in kickboxing or boxing range. In his previous fight as well, Patrick did seem to struggle with the wrestling of Bobby Green. I think he was taken down 3 or 4 times out of 6 attempts. So, I don't think Mason's much of a wrestler in terms of heavy pressure, but he can use that to get positions and win rounds. To throw out a prediction, which I hate doing whenever I do a podcast because we seem to get them wrong.
Well, say the opposite. Say the opposite.
Well, no, because then I'll look like a fool again. No, I think Mason gets the job done on Saturday night. In his last fight, he threw over 300 strikes, so averages 100 a round. He hits like one of those 3.5-ton Luton vans. You move your stuff from house to house, and he finishes fights as well. He's got 7 finishes and 10 wins. He's got all the tools to get his UFC surge back on track, so I think he gets a second round knockout. I think he puts pressure on early, wears Patrick down, and sort of the layoffs and the adrenaline dump you'll get from not fighting for that long and having consecutive breaks. I think he'll too tenacious, too hungry for the veteran. But yeah, Blaenavon's Mason Jones fighting on UFC Fight Night. Rosenstruck and Sakai headlining the card. There's BT Sport in the UK. They'll be on DAZN for you, Sammy boy.
Or as they say,
how do you pronounce it?
DAZN. DAZN. Aye. It's that horrible lisp when it's a Z in Spanish. So you have to get over feeling like you got a speech impediment. That's it.
Well, that's why they. But no, how much do you guys pay for DAZN actually? Because I think it's like $1.99 in the UK, but it's going up.
Oh, you're joking! I pay $10 a month.
Cheap.
$10 a month I pay, but with that I get all the Premier League.
Oh yeah,
because there's two main promotions in Spain, which is DAZN, which is for the English stuff, and Movistar, which is for the Spanish stuff. So if you want La Liga and all that, you've got to watch Movistar, but I'm not really that bothered. So I just get DAZN, and with DAZN, which is good as well, is I get like the championship a bit as well, and all the playoffs and stuff like that. I get the MotoGP. Best though is the darts. But the worst part about DAZN and everything is I've got Spanish commentators who just don't have a clue. What really grinds my gears about the commentary on DAZN, especially when it's like Dan James, you know what they call him? Danny James. Danny James does my head in.
James, what a player.
And as well, the other really thing that really proper boils my blood is with Jack Grealish. They keep calling him a peaky blinder all the time. Los Peaky Blinders. Does my head in. He plays for bloody Villa. I thought they were all like Birmingham City fans on Peaky Blinders. There's probably someone rolling in their grave over there, isn't it?
Really?
Does my head in. They ain't got a foggy.
No, I don't want to hear how they were talking about Johnny Clayton when the Premier League's darts. Oh, La Ferretta, scorissimo. That's Italian, isn't it?
No, they do it. They do it. Golazo. That's my head in. But the good thing about the darts is it's in English. But then it got to the final, the World Championships with what's his face with Gerwin Price. Yeah. And it went to Spanish. I was like, I'm not having this. I'll pay. I'm literally gonna go and pay for the darts. I can't be doing this. So I paid like $5 to just watch the final. But yeah, it was good, wasn't it? Johnny Clayton he's another Welsh speaker, Johnny Clayton.
First time he was in a darts Premier League as well. First time winning it, I think.
Yeah. First time. I think
he was the last one to get the spot as well. It was like a wild card entry, wasn't he?
Yeah, well, he finished. Yeah, he was the wild card because he won the Masters. Good.
Masters, yeah.
Get in. Get up.
I'm on form today.
Look at that.
The Scottish Heineken.
Aye. I'm on the Francis Heine.
Oh.
Wheat beer. Anyway, he won the Masters of darts, so he got in a wild card. And he finished the Premiership in 4th, I want to say. So he got into the playoffs, and he worked his way up to the playoffs. And it's outstanding. He's had the best year of his career without a doubt in the darts. It's great to see. National sport, isn't it, darts?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we're world champions in darts, aren't we?
Gerwin Price, world champion. We've got the Masters with Johnny Clayton. We've got the Premiership with Johnny Clayton. So basically all the main promotions are
the clean sweep now.
Draegoch ar hyn o bryd.
Need Mark Webster to come out of retirement and win the BDO.
Is the BDO even going anymore?
I think we've had this discussion before. I don't think it's, or at least it's not on the BBC anymore, because it used to, that was the one they always had on the BBC, wasn't it?
Family claim to fame. My mum went to Mark Webster's wedding.
So I was just watching the police car go.
I saw it on your
road.
face.
That was a blue light. So Should probably cut the recording there because I think I just had a knock on my door. I'm only sure how many.
You can take the boy out of Rill, put him in posh old Chesterland.
You take him back to real.
Sorry, mate, you're not from. You don't belong here.
Oh, sorry, mate. I'm close enough to the River Dee to get dumped in it with lead in my pocket, so it's fine.
Oh well.
It'll be all right.
Chester's Wales, isn't it? Chester's
Basically.
it just is Wales.
It says Cymru in the train station, so we'll take it.
In it, yeah. I mean, you'll hear as many Welsh speakers in Chester as you will in Colwyn Bay, which is maybe one. I don't know.
I heard someone speaking Welsh walking down my road the other day. She was speaking to her child in Welsh.
Oh,
And the child replied in Welsh. And this is in Hambridge, which it's not like we're in Saltney on the border. Like, this is actually in Chester. So,
we don't talk about Saltney, Martin. I
haven't found the place we went to in Saltney yet, by the way. I'm still looking. Trying to trace the bus route.
It's going to sound well dodgy, that.
That's why I'm just suggesting it. Like.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's nice, isn't it? But Chester's grounds in Wales, isn't it? So
yeah, Davis Stadium, car parks in England, stadiums at the side of the. I think that wraps us up nicely for this evening, boys. Has anyone got anything else to say? Any predictions for the Albania game? Maybe what do you think the score's going to be?
The last time we played Albania, they beat us 1-0, didn't they? And it was like the worst game of football I'd ever seen in my life. And it was one of those games of football when you turn off the TV in a very aggressive manner. You know,
throw the remote on the sofa.
Yeah, go have a fag and stare at the ground. You know, one of them. I think we will blow them out the water. I do. I reckon we're going to be well fired up. Neco Williams' red card is being appealed against as we speak and everything. So if he gets in the team, well, I doubt it'll get through in time. But I reckon we'll blow them out the water. What do you reckon, Lewis?
Yeah, I reckon we've got a nice little chance here to get something. I reckon a nice win. 2-0.
2-0,
I'm up with that. Yeah.
I'm going to go 3-1.
Oh, going to go 3. One better.
3-1 penalty they score, I reckon. No, what am I saying? It depends. If Danny Ward's in goal, there's never been a penalty that's been good enough to beat Danny Ward. So,
Martin, thoughts? Finish off.
I'll say 3-0.
There we go.
I think we're gonna. You know what? I'm gonna make a bold prediction. I think Tyler Roberts is gonna get his first Wales goal, and then he's gonna start against Switzerland and be absolutely shit.
That's a really good shout, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, he was good for Leeds.
He was good for Leeds, but
Leeds fans hate him.
What position is he? Is he a striker? Does he play out wide? Is he an attacking mid? Is he in a midfield three?
Positions don't
even Bielsa doesn't seem to know, and if he doesn't know, like, how are we meant to know?
Positions just don't exist in Leeds, do they? For us, he's a number 9, as far as I'm concerned.
But yeah, that's my 3-0. Tyler Roberts gets his first goal for Wales. Maybe I don't know, maybe someone else unusual pops up on the score sheet as well. These weird friendly games are flypaper for that, seemingly.
I'm going to say 2 goals for Kiefer Moore and 1 goal for Dan James. What are you saying?
If we get a penalty, does Chris Gunter take it? If he plays.
That's a very good shout. Yes. I don't know, actually, because you've seen Kiefer Moore's goals for
102
penalties.
No, Bale and Ramsey take him.
No, Kiefer Moore's our penalty man from now on.
Well, if he's our penalty taker, give it now.
Have you not seen Kiefer Moore's penalties?
No.
Cardiff this season. Google it. His penalty against Bournemouth, Lewis, if there wasn't a net there, it would hit bloody Brittany. It's ridiculous how hard
I need to research this a little bit more.
You have to see it. It's beautiful. But anyway, who do you reckon scored? You said 2-0, no?
I said 2-0, yeah. I think Bale's your most likely one, and then it'd be nice if Danny James gets a good assist.
Don't give it that.
No, let's go for Bale, and then I'm going to go for, let's go one of the centre-backs, Mepham.
Mepham.
You think we're going to risk Gareth Bale getting kicked against the Albanians?
Yeah. He needs to be playing. Like I said, I think we need to be nailing down our formation and stuff now.
You know what? I'm with Lewis. Yeah, I think he needs to be playing. It's not like he's
not starting though. I say bring him on for last 20 minutes or something.
Yeah, I think you're right, Martin. Yeah.
To be fair, I don't know if Lewis was thinking that or not. I just assumed you were putting him in the starting 11.
I reckon he comes on for
He's in starting alone.
He's in what? Starting 11?
He's in starting alone. Yeah.
Wow.
Play every game to win.
I like it, mentality.
Especially
like
coming up to Euros win.
Fiery.
Yeah, the winning
fiery
mentality. Yeah, that's that wraps us up nicely there with a bit of optimism, Lewis. I like it. So yeah. Thank you very much for joining me today, boys, and thank you for everyone who's tuned in to Play for the Dragon. Thank you to Sport and Arian for having us on as well. We're going to be back next week, same time, Friday. And I think we should have a look at the first two group games because there's Switzerland on Saturday the 12th, which will be the day after the podcast, then Turkey 4 days later on the Wednesday. So me and Sam won't be in Baku, so we may as well be in your ear instead. Yeah, I know. Do you remember the flight itinerary for that though?
I don't know. There's too many stops. It was to Turkey, wasn't it? Istanbul.
There was 2 connections in Turkey. You had to. I'm pretty sure it was like, right. I think I was meeting you in Amsterdam, and then we were going Amsterdam to Dusseldorf or Dortmund. One in Germany. But
what a classic way to start a story. I'm meeting you in Amsterdam.
Yeah, I'm just gonna nick a Ford K and drive over on the car ferry. But yeah, we're gonna fly from there to Germany to Ukraine to Istanbul, Istanbul to Ankara, so connecting in Turkey, and then to Baku. And I believe it was 36 to 37 hours on the plane.
Okay.
And between the Germany and Ukraine connection, there was about 24 minutes to change flight, which I don't know what Skyscanner are thinking we've got in terms of legs and athletic ability, but I think all of us are getting left behind there, mate.
One last thing before we go, just to plug our Euro Fantasy League. So we're doing the Euro Fantasy League for Play the Dragon. If you want to join us, if you want to show Lewis and Martin up, because I will just share a bit of inside information. They did absolutely shite in our Fantasy Premier League. And
last year's champion, thank you.
Well, we all know the Evans family rigged it.
I won it last year.
Know.
Oh, well, Melevo, my wonderful mother won it this year. Anyway, the code for our 2020 Euro Fantasy League is 77XR8LG108. Okay, I'm not going to repeat it twice. This ain't Tesco.
Just to spite you, I'm going to make a graphic come up on the screen in the video so you didn't have to. But this is also going out on the radio. So yeah, we'll post it on the social medias as well. We've told you where to find us. So like, don't give me an earful if you can't find the pages. That's your problem, yo.
Yeah.
Final word from this week. Let's go Lewis, because he looks in trepidation with that fringe at the moment.
Oh, you got that word.
Big words.
You got that word from Trivium.
I know, very big word. Final word. Come on, Wales.
Love it.
Yeah, let's
final word.
Root on the Wales, boys. Come on.
Final word. Derch ymlaen Cymru.
Love it. And my final words will be thank you very much for listening, and we will see you next week. Diolch yn fawr iawn pawb. Hwyl fawr.
Hwyl i ti. Hwyl i chi gyd.
Thank you all.